Lone Stranger. I think you can tell by the title of this video. This hike didn't work out. I wanted to make a quick mental health PSA at the beginning of this. A lot of people don't know about seasonal affect in the fall. Mine hits in the fall, and lost my ability to make simple decisions out there. I had a minor logistical issue, and I simply could not fathom any way to resolve that issue, so I decided I had to come home, and that issue could have been resolved pretty easily any other time of year. But I just wanted people to know that if you know somebody who goes crazy in the fall, tell them, look into it. I soak up the vitamin D and the sunlight all I can, but yeah, I lost my shit. So you can't really tell from the video, but I wanted you to understand why this small logistical issue was so important. It's not. But when you're crazy, sometimes small things look big. So I just want people to know that if you know somebody who has a problem like this, or if you have a problem like this, that it's really important to know what's happening, that you're not really crazy. It's chemical imbalance, sunlight fading. I don't know what it is, but it's not good. But take care of yourselves. Enjoy the video. There's a little bit of pretty trail in there, some nice views on top of Jay, but then things suddenly end. So sorry about all that excitement for nothing, but we'll try something again sometime. I'm not sure what's next, but enjoy the video. Hey, Lone Stranger, the northbound long trail. This is our approach trail. Day 1 of hopefully 23. Has been an adventure so far, just getting here. We're later than we'd hoped. Some things blew up this morning. Wife had an emergency meeting she had to take. But it's about 12 o'clock. We've got about 7 hours of hiking and about 6 hours of daylight. So we're gonna see how that goes. Here, this is what the approach trail looks like. In a couple hours we'll be headed back the other way. It'll be actually a long trail. It's the same trail. I had her drop me off on the highway rather than Journey's End. That way she doesn't have to drive out of there. I try to make it as easy as I can on her, considering I'm making her take me here. Well, hopefully she'll come back and get me. But yeah, there's a lot of things we're gonna have to work out here, so I'm gonna try to work those out. I will say hello to you when we get to the border in about an hour. Hi, from Canada. Back in the States. Looking at this border swath. Whew. That's giving me some nightmares. If you came along on the trip this summer, you know what I'm talking about. Those Canadian border trails, they are something. I might go back next year. I might not. We'll see. Well, that's it. We've tagged the border. I like to say we're done, but we're done with the approach trail. Now we've just got the state of Vermont to walk. But at least we're not walking that border trail. Oh yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm a little rushed. Kind of ran up here behind schedule, but we'll see what we can make out of this. I'll either get to Shooting Star and call it a day, or we'll make it to Laura Woodward, but I can't tell you which right now. Fourth time starting from here. 2 failed. 1 made it. This one's gonna make it. I got a good feeling about this one. We just gotta get through these first couple of days. Don't screw it up. All right, I'm gonna go.
I don't have time to read all that. 273 miles, Blue Blazes, Green Mountain, GMC. That's the short version. First white blaze, headed south. Feeling good. This trail and I have a lot of history. I was much younger and much dumber the first time I arrived here. I have learned a lot on this trail and other trails since. Doesn't mean I won't screw it up. It just means that it's amusing to me because I remember what it felt like each of those other times. The first two times I spent the night at Journey's Rest, Journey's End, and started from there in the morning, which really I would like to do. But that wastes a day. That's why I have 7 hours of hiking to do after doing 4 hours of driving and a 1 hour meeting. But I learned a lot in that meeting, so it's not my line of study. No, hiking. We're here for hiking. We are going to go climb Carlton Mountain again. It's going to be a joy. It's just easier to come in from the highway than it is to drive the car into Journey's End and leave my poor wife to drive at it. She didn't grow up on a farm, so I remember driving in the dirt. She doesn't grow up like that. Alright, we're going to try to keep these videos shorter and more concise. I'm going to stop babbling. Bye.
Good morning. Day 2. Alright, so got there at 4 o'clock, somewhere around 4 o'clock, which meant if I kept going it was going to be after 7 by the time I got to where the next water was. Thankfully, the pump was a gushing. I have never seen that pump put out water like that. That was impressive. I don't know. They must have gotten rain up here, unless somebody redug the well. But yeah, there was a little dirt, but it was much cleaner than usual. And there was water, which is also unusual because a lot of times it's dry. So I was really happy. I camped out, and then 2 ladies showed up, and then 2 more people showed up, and it was really noisy and a lot of people. And you know, I don't like to film other people, so if there's a crowd in camp, a lot of times I won't say goodnight. So I apologize, I didn't say goodnight. Day 1 is like about 5 minutes long. We won't release that as an independent video. Here, look at how beautiful it is out here this morning. Yeah, so we're about 3 hours behind schedule. I got up about 5:30. Got out of camp a little before 7. Traditional 90 minutes, you know. It was less than 90 minutes. I should get credit for that. But I won't. But yeah, this is the day. This is the day that decides the whole hike. If you've been with me on the long trail before, you know. Day 2 is a lot of trouble. Often resulting in a lot of more trouble. So, we'll see how this goes. I'm coaching myself in all sorts of ways. I just need to keep pumping food and water and electrolytes and
everything's going to be fine. I think I get carried away hiking on day 2 and I don't eat enough because a lot of hikes blow up on day 2. I've just learned to schedule them to be really short, which is why we were supposed to be farther down the road today. But yeah, this will be longer. Not optimal, but I think it can be done. That's the positive attitude there. So I will check in with you at some point because there are going to be some views on top of Jay today, I do believe. But there may be some pretty stuff between here and there. And then there comes that horrible ridge over towards Hazen's Notch. That's where all the trouble is. I'm always feeling good when I start that, and I'm always feeling terrible when I stop. It's just a really annoying ridge. Alright, I will talk to you later. There's the actual top of Dal over there. So you can see what I mean by a false summit, because we are on top of this mountain. And then we're going to go, you can't see the bottom, we're going to go way down there. Look at this though, it's a view. I had to fight my way through some trees to get here, but you're worth it. I got to remember, this is all about you. Oh, I'm having a lot of troubles out here today. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm not sure I can push through what I need to do today because what I didn't do yesterday. And then I started doing the math from there. And I think by day 4 I'm a day behind. I gotta see if I can get through this tree. It still was worth it to see the view. Sorry, this isn't fair to you. You shouldn't have to deal with all that. Maybe I'll edit that out. It's really not big enough for me. And now I think I've lost my pack cover. So, alright, I'll take the pack off and figure that out. The pack cover is here because it's hunting season of all sorts, and so I want to be red. Alright, I will see you maybe on top of the other peak. Hi. I forgot about you, sorry. I stopped for Denzi's, the Lower Woodward. Grabbed some water, chugged some water. And then northbound hiker came in. And I hung out there way too long talking to him. But it was a good conversation. He's slackbacking from the other side of Jay to the border. Oh, that sounds like a great way to finish. Did they brush that out, or is that the trail? Is this the trail? I think they brushed that out. So we've begun our assault on Jay. It's not bad a climb. I like this climb. I just keep telling myself that all the way to the top. It's always much easier than I think it's going to be if I look at the mountain, because it looks like it would be hard, and it's not. And then there's that stupid notch trail here. That ridge out to Hazen's Notch. That looks like that should be easy. And it's terrible. Everyone agrees. I hear everybody complaining about it. All the northbounders just went through there, so they are all complaining. It's a lot of up and down. A lot of effort. Absolutely no views. You're not getting anywhere. And you can't figure out why. And it's because the trail just keeps going up and down. It's a ridge trail. Well, I don't know that I'm in shape to talk to you while I'm climbing, so maybe I'll put this away. I could breathe more. But I thought you'd want to see the sausage getting made. Whew. I had a little sausage. It wasn't bad. Oh yeah. Going up. There's some fall color. We're gonna have to hike fast. We're gonna lose the leaf. Oh, I can't hike fast. I wish I could just go up that way, but that's not the trail. That's right, this is probably easier. That looks easier, but this probably is easier. Yeah, it's a beautiful day for it. I don't know if you can hear all the weed whackers down there or not. I apologize if you can't. I can't do anything about that. I think they're clearing the ski trails. We came up from over there somewhere. And we're gonna go down that way. And that's that annoying ridge I told you about. I don't know. We made good time getting up here, but that ridge has caused a lot of trouble in the past. And we just camped down here. But boy, we're gonna be there really early. I don't know. There's no good answer. Well, I'm gonna have some lunch, but I thought I'd show you the view before I forgot. Because otherwise, I might get ambitious and leave. Yeah. There's a little work getting up here. Those water tower hills, they help, but oh well, I gotta go. Almost done with this ridge. Then we will go down. I just figured I'd give you some more sunlight before we got to camp. I think we're just going to camp down here at the base of J, which is a dark camp indeed. It's in the shadow of the mountain, cloaked in trees, dark and damp. But yeah, pushing on to Hazen's, it would get us back on schedule, but it might make me very, very sick, in which case then we wouldn't be on schedule at all. That ridge has killed me so many times. And looking at it from here, you can see why. It's a lump, a lump, a lump, a lump. And then even when you start going down on the far side of it, going down Buchanan, there's knobs you've got to climb up on the way down Buchanan towards Hazen's Notch. It's a killer. It's killed before. We'll kill again. Oh, the birds are fighting. They're still fighting. It's just crazy. That little bird is really bothering him. Well, I'm gonna put you away. We're gonna go down this hill. It's gonna be very, very steep. I'll see you later. Oh yeah, it's just a killer. Look at it.
Yeah. Day 2. I stopped at J Camp. Said that's enough. Playing it safe. At some point, we're gonna have to make up time. We're 4.5 hours behind. I got people all around me. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. Turn up the volume. But yeah, it's been relaxing. It was like 2:30, not even 3 o'clock when I got here. So. But it would have been like 7 o'clock, and I would have been sick when I got to the next place. So this is all I can do. It's whatever makes the most sense. I'm trying to be more sensible. In the old days, I would have pushed on and said, "You have to go. It's what the piece of paper says." Screw the piece of paper. I'm making up my own plans now. No, we gotta try to get back on track. We only have 23 days for the whole hike, so if we keep losing a few hours every day, we're not gonna make it. Alright, well, tomorrow, I'm gonna do the big mile. No, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, it's raining. I saw some clouds, so I pulled the weather forecast. The weather forecast did not say anything about rain. Not for days. I checked it this morning, and then I checked it tonight here when I saw these clouds coming. But, thankfully I started putting up the tarp. I don't know, I thought it was just going to be a passing shower. I didn't really put up the tarp for rain, just keep me dry. It's been raining for about 20 minutes, half an hour now. These are the exciting things that happen out here. Once you've camped. I'm not sure if that would have made things better or worse if I was trying to make it to Hazen's Notch. Probably worse.
I would have arrived after dark, sick and soaking wet. So. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's an adventure. That's what we come out here for. The adventure of it all. They're having another party over there in the shelter. That's why I try to keep as far away as I can. When they congregate, they make a lot of noise. Well, it's raining. Tarp's gonna get really loud, so I'll say night night. But I thought you might appreciate seeing just how exciting it is out here. Yeah, that lighting is probably a little better. It's not a downpour, but they're big drops. That's where all the action is. Alright, it's 7 o'clock now, but fall asleep again. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning. Day 3. Starting in the wee hours of the morning. Some guy wanted to get up and hit the mountain for sunrise, so he woke everybody up at 4 o'clock. I don't know why people who want to do shit like that don't camp away from everybody else so they don't wake them all up. But he was very social. He talked a lot during the evening, so it's important to socialize and then be antisocial. I like people sometimes, but I tell you, when you camping, it's easier if you're just a little bit. Alright, I'm antisocial. There's a reason. It's them. It's not me. So yeah, we're gonna walk this ridge that always annoys me. I've never walked it in the morning. Maybe it'll be better. And then there's a climb after that that I've never done other than the first thing in the morning, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But I guess that's part of the adventure. There's nothing really too exciting here to see, but at least you can stop looking at me. I gotta watch the trail. I can't even look at you. This is just a side trail heading back to away places. But the leaves are coming down, so it's getting a little more challenging to see where you're putting your feet. There's just always a lot of trouble. You know how it is. Well, I will check in with you out there somewhere. This isn't a particularly pretty day. It's just trees. You climb up a lot of things. Some of them they call mountains, but there's never any views. It's just trees. Climbing up and down. I'll see you later. Sorry, but today just isn't very exciting to show you anything. It's just walking in the trees all day long. We stopped at Hazen's Notch for 11sies and water. They say we're down to 2,400 feet of climb left in the day. I made the mistake of looking when I was on top of that ridge. After I'd already been hiking for a few hours, I had 4,000 feet of up. That's disturbing. Thankfully, we took care of some of it on the way down that mountain. There's a lot of lumps. But this next one is it's a mountain haystack. It's not terrible, it's just long up. It's about a 1,400 foot climb.
1,500 feet. I think that's it over there. So we just keep going. See what happens. I gotta get that far. I don't think we're gonna be able to go any farther than that today. But at this point, I'll be happy if I can get there. My normal schedule makes it so these days make sense. And boy, I've never done this day. This day doesn't make any sense at all. This day's really hard. You wouldn't want to do this as a day 3. It's not terribly long. It's just a lot of elevation. Well, I could keep bitching, or I could shut up. But I can't stop. I gotta keep walking. That's all that matters. Bitching or not, whatever you're doing, just keep walking. The miles just melt away. Alright. I'll stop babbling at you. I think there's kind of a view up there somewhere, maybe. Otherwise, there's kind of one at camp. I'll see you somewhere. Good morning. Day 4. Been a lot of dramatic changes since we've spoken last. I regret to inform you. I'm gonna go home today. The logistics are just not gonna work out. This is getting behind schedule. It's gonna mean that I wasn't gonna be able to make my resupply in Jonesville. The post office would be closed for the weekend. I talked to my wife in terms of when I can get a ride home. And with everybody's busy schedule, it looked like today was the day to do it. So it's not joyful, but it just wasn't going to work. The 23-day schedule is already pretty dramatic by my skills. But then to get behind schedule, there's no way to make it up. I was already really pushing the limits to make it in the first place. It's terrible, but I just don't have the time. And based on how everything's working out, this is what makes sense. I don't know. It's not the first time I've gone home really long ago, but this is like the silliest reason. No, when I did it in 22, I think I was planning on going fast. Here, look, more beaver pond. And then readjusted my schedule and went slower. If I remember correctly, that's what worked. So yeah, no sense in me trying this unless I've got a month. But we will enjoy the rest of our hike here today. I don't know if we'll get out again this fall. My wife said I should go, but I don't know. Everybody's very busy. Oh, baby. Well, we're going to climb up Belvedere here. Don't think I have enough time to go up to the tower. I've got to meet them down up the road, so it'd be rude to keep them waiting after I make them drive all this way. Well, if I see something pretty, I'll show you. Well, it's a beautiful morning on the ridge. Could use a breeze, but we're still headed over towards Belvedere. This ridge bumps up and down along the way. Oh yeah, this is nice. Could have used some trail like this yesterday. Wow. Just because I have to go home doesn't mean I can't appreciate this while I'm still here. Yeah, that was a doozy of a day yesterday. There's a reason why I plan my hikes so meticulously. It's because the first half of yesterday is supposed to be the end of a day, and the second half of yesterday is supposed to be the next day. And doing those two sections on the same day results in some terrible numbers. It looked like it was about 4,300 feet of up and about the same amount of down. And I think it was like 12 miles. Not terrible on the miles, but holy cow, that's a lot of up for day 3 for a man who hasn't been able to get on trail in months. And it's been like 2 months since I've been on trail, so that was a heck of a day. That took everything I had and more. Yeah, I ran out of up probably about 2 hours before I got to camp. My legs just didn't want to climb anymore. When my legs start complaining about climbing, I know I've had too much. They're usually pretty game. It's the rest of me that doesn't take it. Yeah, the rest of me didn't like it either. Yeah, it was in pretty bad shape when I got to camp. But soup and dinner. Some lovely mashed potatoes and chicken. Oh, that was good. Oh man, it's nice up here. I think this is taking us over to the big climb. Here's some long trail for you. Headed down Belvedere. It's a tough descent, but I climbed it last year, and it's no fun climbing it either. My legs vetoed the idea of going up to see the fire tower, I'm sorry. I know. The whole thing is just a big disappointment. There's nothing I can do about it. I've stopped fighting. I know when to quit. Yeah, should have done the Coas. I already did the Coas this year, though. I haven't been in Vermont. I wanted to go to Vermont. It's all good. Just gotta be where you're supposed to be. And if you're not, well, then there's a lot of trouble. It's a beautiful day in the forest, though. Appreciate it. It's not much of a view. I know those slopes. That's where we're supposed to be going. Yeah. I recognize this brook. I've camped here once, twice maybe. I just camped up here on the hill. I hear there's actually more of a campsite over here. But this means the parking lot is coming up pretty quick, so we will wrap this up here. Again, apologies for getting your hopes up, but if you've been following me for long, you should not be surprised. This is not the first time I've gone home really. So I gotta do whatever makes sense. Sometimes you just can't win. This was not gonna be a win. I could see it. It was gonna get worse and worse. And given the fact that this is the only day I can get a ride home, I figured I better take it while I can get it. So, I don't know what's next. I've got a lot of food packed up. I've got boxes at home. Probably should go somewhere, but I don't know how that's gonna work. Like I say, logistics are really difficult this time of year. Not this time of year, all the time now. But, yeah. Oh well. I will see you when I see you.